It is clear with AI that we are now at what one might term an inflection point. We are seeing the advance of AI in a way that we have just never seen before. It is now all around us. It's part of our work. It's part of how we access apps and services. And we as Apple obviously have a commitment over decades at this point of ensuring that everything we do has privacy and security built into it. And we will only make AI available when we can be absolutely sure that we will have those exact same privacy and security standards. So therefore, we are extremely focused on ensuring that as we welcome third-party AI services onto our platform and assess how to make those services interoperate and integrate with our operating system, which our users trust over many decades, that we do so in a way that protects those privacy and security rights. And we worry. We worry that the growth of, for instance, agentic AI, which can access your email, your wallet, your calendar, everything that is on your device that is deeply personal about you, that is done in a way that maintains users' trust, that maintains how they feel about their devices, that they know that when they use their Apple devices that they are going to be protected. We want to do everything we possibly can to ensure that as they start accessing those services, that the operating system continues to play that trusted role that it has for so long, and it must play that role. It is a role that users expect it to play. It is accountable for what it does. It is transparent for how it operates, and we think it must remain at the center. Unfortunately, there are some companies out there who are wishing to set aside those protections, who would want nothing more than to be able to have direct access to everything that's on your device in the name of AI. And I think we all must be extremely cautious as we go over the next days, weeks, and months to ensure that as we progressively make those services available, that we do so in a way that actually ensures we maintain the protections we have. Fast-moving environment, but there's something that has struck me as somebody who's worked in privacy for 20 years and is now working even more deeply on competition and platform regulation, that actually the first regulatory body that took an action in relation to AI was right here in Italy. The Garante, maybe 2.5 years ago now, took an action because it was concerned that a large AI provider had not put in appropriate protections for children and had not put in appropriate protections in terms of how data was being sourced and used. So actually, data protection regulators have already led the line in showing that they could apply GDPR principles to the new AI world. And Apple agrees with that. We agree that those GDPR principles need to be applied. And so I'm actually looking towards those data protection authorities to continue to step up in this space and make sure that their voice is being heard. Because since that first action by the Garante 2.5 years ago, we've now seen obviously the EU AI Act. We've seen some platform and competition requirements that have come in, but sometimes when we're seeing those new developments, we're seeing them being assessed in isolation, and we're not seeing that original focus on privacy and data protection maintained. I think you only have to look at some of the sessions that are here at this conference in Venice at this Privacy Symposium to see that there is still a huge role for data protection authorities to ensure that as we all move forward in AI, we move forward in a way that protects and maintains user trust. And I think we have to be really clear that we all want that. We cannot allow for privacy and data protection to be set aside in the name of progress for AI only. And I think we need to be extremely vigilant to ensure that nobody is going to use that opportunity to try and assert it. Certainly from my point of view and Apple's point of view, privacy is continuing to be a fundamental right for users here in the EU. And certainly I want the data protection authorities to be confident and play that role across all media, including with competition authorities and platform regulators. What we've seen since the start of the DMA is a progressive encroachment upon users' privacy and security rights. What we've also seen is the absence of the data protection authorities via the European Data Protection Board, the data protection authorities themselves, and the EDPS from that process. And I think the absence of them from the process has meant that we've ended up with outcomes that have been viewed solely from a competition lens without taking full account of balancing privacy and security issues. And gathered as we are here in Venice with such a rich array of voices who do think deeply about privacy and security, I think we would all benefit from having those voices at the table as part of the DMA work to ensure that users actually maintain the same privacy and security standards as they had pre-DMA. But unfortunately, we are not seeing that to be the case as we continue on. Look, it's extremely important that there is a venue whereby different voices from multiple backgrounds can be brought together. And just going through the program, you can see that we have privacy authorities here, we have privacy advocates, but we also have people, we have politicians, we have European commissioners represented. We have many people who are bringing different perspectives. I think that's what's unique about the privacy community. It welcomes everybody in, it wants to hear everybody's perspective, and it reassures me and reassures Apple that there remains a strong role for privacy, security, and data protection in what we're doing. And having these kind of forums where we can all speak openly with each other and arrive at mutually beneficial outcomes that maintain privacy is crucially important for the future. My overall message here in Venice on this occasion is that we really are at a crucial inflection point with the rollout of AI. We all hear it, it's kind of a buzzword, and maybe people can begin to just think it's not that important. It is extremely important that as AI becomes prevalent, that we do so in a way that maintains user privacy and security. And that's not just about ensuring that the way the models are trained takes account of privacy and security. It is about ensuring that when those models are deployed and when services are using them, that one thing remains true, that the user remains in complete control of their data and they make the decisions that they want and not hand it over to companies who just want to get their hands on that data.